Hey Cam, how you doing?
Good.
Congratulations on yesterday. Hey, and we've seen the impact that Tom has had on this team all year, but when it came getting ready for the playoffs, where do you think his greatest impact came from? Just, just for both sides of the ball. It seemed like he raised the level of everyone on this team at this time.
Yeah, for sure. I think we've all relied on Tom's experience. And his greatness all year, but not too many of us have played in postseason games on our team. So going into the Washington game, he kind of like let us know what to expect. Make sure it's going to be different. He was trying to explain to us, even with no fans, and he just has a very calming presence to him. Not always even in his demeanor, but like just us looking to him, knowing that we have Tom Brady as our quarterback, as our leader, gives everyone just a sense of calmness during the games, especially, in those tense moments where the game gets tight in the second half. We look to Tom, and Tom just has a very calming presence. So we relied on that a ton so far.
Yeah, it seemed when things weren't going well for you guys early on, there was no panic with the team that we might have seen a year or two ago. That you guys were just very calm through the whole process.
Yeah, and I think that just goes back to kind of how the regular season played out. Some of the games we played, the Chargers game, the Falcons game, where we got down big deficits and we were able to come back. We didn't really get to down big during this game, but we weren't always running smoothly on offense, and we just kind of had a feeling that we were going to figure it out. Kind of the looks they were giving us, they were inviting us to run the ball, so we kind of took it upon ourselves to get the ground game going. I think that really opened up a lot of things for us.
And can you describe just what it was like in the locker room? It seemed pretty crazy in there in the video that we've seen.
Yeah, I mean, we were all pretty pumped up. That one felt pretty good. The Saints have had our number. They've had a hold on the NFC South for pretty much my whole time in Tampa, and so to go out there, face adversity, kind of overcome our struggles against the Saints and win that game was definitely a special feeling, a special moment for all of us.
We'll go to Rick Stroud.
Hey, Kim, it seems like you guys are a little more committed to running the football, and maybe that's led to the heavy personnel with you and Gronk on the field a lot, but all of a sudden Cam Brate is very available as a receiver. So what's enabled you to be able to present yourself, in those situations and make a ton of plays these last couple weeks?
Yeah, I think, a lot of it has to do with trying to establish a run, getting more tight ends on the field. It's kind of hard to kind of game plan that way when you have the weapons that we do, the quarterback that we have, but just establishing the line of scrimmage, making sure the defense doesn't just pin their ears back and pressure us. That's been big for us. And we've kind of been gearing that way towards the end of the regular season and now into the playoffs. And it's worked out for me, and just been able to make some plays for us, which has been cool.
Is Tom, I mean, how are you in those positions now? Is he just looking for you, or the defense is just taking the ball there, or what's going on?
Yeah, I mean, when we got the receivers that we do, a lot of teams try to take those guys away. And, we've had a lot of stuff up for the tight ends, second half of the season. And, kind of, it didn't always come up just with the way the games were going. The teams that play us with the single high safety, like our receivers are going to be one-on-one. And, those games, Mike and Chris and AB, those are those games that those guys have great games. And when teams are a little more conservative and try to take away the deep shots, those games are the games that we're going to have to rely on the guys working in the middle of the field, whether it's the running backs, tight ends, Chris in the slot. So kind of with what the Saints were doing on defense, it was going to be the guys on the inside who are going to have the best looks. And, we knew that going into the game, and I thought Tom did a great job managing the game and taking what the defense gave him. And, we always can't throw 50-yard bombs to Mike. We're going to have to sometimes be patient and run the football and kind of take more short to intermediate throws. And that's what we had to do yesterday to get the win.
We'll go to Greg Allman.
Hey, Cam, it's been 3 years since you guys played at Lambeau. There's actually only 10 guys that played in that game left on the roster 3 years later. You had quite a day that day. I know it came at a loss, but just want to ask you what you remember about that and how much you're looking forward to playing in some cold temperatures close to what you're used to growing up.
Yeah, I mean, I'm super excited. Pretty unreal. Just watched so many Packers games growing up, being a big Bears fan. So to be able to play a January football game in Lambeau is definitely going to be special. That's probably, although I've only played there once, that was probably one of the coolest experiences I've had as an NFL player. Just the history. It's a pretty unreal place to play. The fans feel like they're right on top of you. It was just, cool for me to play there. And can't believe there's only 10 guys left from that game. I mean, I remember that was a tough loss for us. But yeah, we're going to have to face the weather on Sunday, and both teams are going to have to deal with that. So that'll be a challenge, something that we're going to know going into the game. But Lambeau is just a special place to play, and to play for the NFC Championship game there is going to be pretty unbelievable.
Thanks, Cam.
Yep.
We'll go to Jenna Lane.
Hey, Cam, back to what you were talking about a little bit with Tom a few moments ago. It seems like as long as you guys keep it relatively close in quarters 1 through 3, it's like that fourth quarter rolls around and it's like he just seems to own it and you guys find a way to pull away. What is it like being part of that? What is Tom Brady like up close in the fourth quarter, and what kind of effect does that have on your team?
Yeah, I mean, he's always super confident, the whole game, but just kind of his attention to detail, his focus, it takes a step up there during the fourth quarter, during those drives that we need to put points on the board to win the game. And just all year we've relied on Tom, Tom's leadership, Tom's presence. And I think it's because we've all seen him, watching football growing up, the past 10 years, whatever. We've seen him do it on the biggest stages. And it's definitely just a calming presence to know that we have him, and, we feel like we got the best quarterback, and usually the best quarterback wins the game. So, we just definitely relied on Tom all year for his experience and his leadership.
And in week 6, I know that feels like so long ago, but you guys had a pretty convincing 38-10 win over the Packers. I know teams evolve throughout the season, but what kind of things can you guys take from that game that you can kind of apply to this one, even if it's just belief, right? Like you've done it before, you kind of know what to expect a little bit. What can you take from that?
Yeah, I mean, that was a great team win for us. We got down 10-0, scored 38 unanswered, but we also lost to the Saints 38-3, and we won yesterday. So, anything can happen during a football game. And I just kind of remember that game. The offense really didn't have to do too much. We had a pick 6 on defense, and then, 2 plays later, we got set up inside the 5-yard line. It was just a game that our defense kind of dominated. And we're gonna have to play well defensively. We're gonna have to play well offensively, because we know the Packers are playing great football, especially on offense this year. So it's definitely a different team than we faced week 5, and I think it's gonna be a game hopefully like yesterday, where defense can get some turnovers, because our offense on a short field is pretty tough to defend. So definitely gonna be a challenge. I don't think it's gonna be 38-10 on Sunday, but shoot, I'll take it if it is.
We have time for a few more. We'll go to John Romano.
Hey, Cam, this team has won 7 consecutive games on the road now. Obviously, talent plays a large part in that, but how much of it is also mindset or attitude, and how much of that comes from Arians?
Yeah, I think there's a lot of things that play into it. I think first and foremost this year, the home field advantage is it's not the same as it used to be. We played a bunch of games with 0 fans. I think there's going to be under 10,000 there on Sunday. So that's always the biggest challenge as an offense, playing against the crowd noise, trying to communicate during that. So, I mean, this year, Tom can just yell out if we need a check or to signal like a different route. Tom can just yell it out. And that's been awesome. And, that's definitely been unique to this year. But yeah, I mean, we have a mindset that, it doesn't matter where we play. We're going to play football when we have to. And, I think a lot of that has to do with the leadership. It starts with BA, just kind of his mindset, his mentality that we're going to fight. That's who we are, a group of fighters. And it starts with him, and it just kind of trickles down from there.
We'll go to Joey Knight.
Cam, only 2 turnovers in the last 6 games. What does BA say to you guys? Does he just harp on it till you guys are sick of hearing it? Is there some kind of super deterrent to turnovers? How do you explain that?
Honestly, not really. We don't really talk about it too much. It starts with the quarterback, making smart decisions with the football, but really everyone plays a part in it. O-line, making sure we're protecting the quarterback, so no strip sacks or anything like that. And then skill position guys, catching the ball, protecting the football in traffic. Really not too much has been said of it this year. It's kind of been something that we've emphasized a ton during like training camp and the early stage of the season. But at this point, it's kind of understood, ball security is job security. And if you want to win football games in the playoffs, you got to protect the football. And I mean, that's the reason we won yesterday is, 4-0 in the turnover battle. It's going to be hard to win a game if you turn the ball over 4 times. So that's been huge for us this whole year, but especially the past 6 weeks.
And Floridians see teams playing games in 5-10 degree weather, snow, and they say that must be unbearable. How can they do that? You're a veteran of it. Is it that bad?
No. So it's bad when you're like in like high school, and if you go to a school like Harvard where we don't have all the nice stuff that the NFL teams provide. So like the only time you're actually cold is when you're on the field, but then you're playing. So like you're not that cold. When you're on the bench, you have heated benches, you got space heaters, jackets, they provide all this stuff for us. But I remember at Harvard, we played a snow game on Halloween against Dartmouth, and we had 1 space heater for the whole team. So we had 100 guys fighting for about 6 inches of space of heat. But yeah, that's not a problem in the NFL. Yeah, it's really not too bad in the NFL.
All right, that's all we have time for today. Thanks, Cam.
Yep.